Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Trudge Report YouTube channel. We got another special episode here with a good friend of the pod and beloved UConn Husky fan, Danny P. He's back again. We are back again. Selection Sunday. Everything went down tonight. We got kind of our initial surprises, upsets, snubs, the biggest shocker to us so far. We're going to go kind of region by region and just touch on each game and kind of each matchup that's coming and some things that might have surprised us about Selection Sunday. And then we want to talk about, the first four in Dayton, Ohio, the first four games and kind of that wild card round, so to speak. And then a couple of teams that got left out, which were kind of surprising. So first off, Danny, good evening. How are you? Where are you coming to us from this evening?
Good evening. I'm coming to the great UConn State right now. We're in Connecticut, and we're doing okay. We're doing all right. A little lost in the Big East tournament, but we're doing all right. And we're just excited for some March Madness with my boy Sean right now.
Yeah, man. Are you getting your place ready with the UConn watch party and outside the arena?
I just, before we got on, I Google mapped how far Lenovo Arena is from my house in Ohio. So if I need to drive down to maybe possibly go to the Florida game if we win.
And how far is it?
7 hours. So it might be a flight to Charlotte instead.
Not too bad. That's definitely doable.
Oh, I would do it. Absolutely.
Definitely doable.
Yeah.
So I guess real quick, actually, we'll back up a second. Let's just touch on a couple of the conference winners. Mm-hmm. So you had Florida beat Tennessee pretty handily today. It was never really that close. Tennessee hung in there hard, but Florida beat Tennessee for the SEC conference. Houston, won the Big 12 conference. That was the last night game. They were down pretty decently in that game, if you remember correctly.
Yep.
And they came back and won, which was pretty cool. Michigan pulled out, for all the talk we had the other day about Michigan State, who lost in the semis, obviously, for Michigan to come through and win the Big Ten today against Wisconsin in a great game. I don't know if you saw any of it, but what a great game that was.
Yeah, any of it? I know, so I didn't see it because we were out with my son and the kids and all that jazz. But that, because I was down on Michigan, I was like, they don't stand a chance. That what they did in the tournament, they have a shot because they have those 2 7-footers, man. That's a real, that's a problem for teams. And I felt like they weren't a team. They weren't playing all year as a cohesive unit because they just got put together. Right. And I feel like them coming together for that at a tournament time, they have the pieces if they can play as a team.
The two big guys, dude, Danny Wolf and Vlad Golden. And Vlad Golden came with Dusty May from FAU.
Yeah.
Shout out to Florida out here over in Boca. Yeah. But they're just, I don't know, man. That was good. And they beat a very good Maryland team yesterday.
Yeah.
In a very, very close game. And then, as a matter of fact, it was what's his name? Is it Donaldson? I forget the kid with the hairdo. He went coast to coast with 6 seconds left and scored. It was pretty amazing. And then, they beat, Wisconsin today, which Wisconsin's been tough. The Danny Tonje kid or John Tonje kid has been really good. Yeah. What a great game. Good win for Michigan. We'll get to them, but I think they got snubbed a little bit. I thought they'd get a little higher than a 5 seed, but we'll get to them. Danny, as we suspected, Arizona was soft.
Yeah.
Arizona is soft.
Yeah, so soft, man.
Caleb Love, get him out of here. Houston, Houston beat them by 8 points. Again, it was a pretty handy game, but I just have, as a reference point, Houston was down at the half, only by 5 points, but they were down. At one point, though, in the first half, if I remember correctly, they were down double digits. So good on Houston for coming back and being tough.
And those teams, like you said, they're soft. So when Houston cranks it up, just like St. John's, what I mean? When they crank it up, teams will. Creighton, same thing. Creighton was running, and then all of a sudden St. John's cranked it up, and they flexed their muscles.
Yeah, let's touch on that. St. John's easily beat Creighton, easily. 66-82, favor of St. John's.
Yeah.
They're going to be a fun team to watch. They're going to be a super fun team to watch in the NCAA tournament. And then, Duke wins the ACC. Big deal.
Yeah.
Duke kind of stinks. I know they didn't have Cooper Flagg. They got really lucky that they didn't lose.
Your boys should have took it. Your boys had it.
Dude, I'm so upset. They had, for anybody not listening, UNC was down the day before in the conference semis, double digits, like 16 points or something like that. They came all the way back, and they had the game. We were down by 1, and what's his name gets fouled at the very end of the game. He misses the first free throw, which you make that free throw, you're tied, and what happens next it matters, but not as much, because what happens next is he misses the first free throw. He makes the second free throw, but the refs wave it off. The refs wave it off because a Tar Heel player steps into the lane a little too early, and they wave it off. And just kind of heartbreaking fashion. They were right there. I know they didn't have Cooper Flagg, and that's what everyone's going to say. If they had won, oh, they beat him without Cooper Flagg. Whatever, dude. That's such a bitter rivalry. They don't really care. They want to win no matter what.
And it's Duke. Everyone there is 5 stars.
Yeah. But Danny P, it doesn't matter. You were right, because on Friday in the morning when you and I were texting, you said, I think UNC's in no matter what. And I said, oh, I don't know. I think we got to win tonight. I think we got to win one more. And sure enough, when they lost in the semis, a lot of the projected metrics had them out still. A lot of them still had them out. There's only a few of the metrics that had them in. And sure enough, we got in. We're playing in Dayton this week. First 4 in. We got San Diego State, which will not be an easy game by any means, but I'm excited that they're in, and they can, if they want to shut up the haters, they just got to win a few games. They got to win this week. They got to win the round of 64. If they can get to the Sweet 16, I think that'll kind of quell the fears.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like when it comes to the bubble teams and you do the eye test, which team is better, right? You want the better teams in. So when you put UNC versus Boise State, I mean, no brainer. Right. You know what I mean? I felt like that all along. If that's the final metric, they're in.
Right. Yeah, I agree. So, all right. So let's go. Hold on. I'm just pulling something up real quick. I want to touch on the automatic qualifiers real quick. So,
all
right. So you had a couple teams here. You had Bryant College. Shout out to Bryant College in the American East Conference. My uncle, my dad's oldest brother, went to Bryant College and played baseball there. So shout out to Bryant College.
My ex-wife's brother went there.
Nice. Okay. Very nice. Very nice. And then problem with some of these is I just lost my thing. You had I know Norfolk State was in there. Norfolk State is where I'm from. I'm from Norfolk, Virginia. I'm from the Virginia area. So we had that going on. You got Alabama State and St. Francis playing. You got some they're in the first 4.
First 4, yeah.
You got Bryant College, Norfolk State, Grand Canyon. They were in last year, if you remember. Grand Canyon was in last year. They were really good last year.
They put up points, man.
Dude, they score in buckets.
Yep.
Omaha. You got Omaha in there. University of Omaha, automatic qualifier. You got Liberty University, automatic qualifier. Virginia Commonwealth University, who beat George Mason today.
Yeah.
For their conference title. You got them in. You got Montana State Grizzlies.
Oh, I've watched 2 of their games. They have one dude that gets buckets, man.
Isn't that the really big guy, dude?
I know. I think it's a point guy. I think his name's William.
Oh, is it really? Okay.
Yeah.
Robert Morris, the Tobacco University, you got them in there. Always fun to have that. SIEU. Who is SIEU?
I don't even know.
Sorry, I'm learning how to use my bracketology thing in real time over here.
Yeah. Sounds like a technical college.
Big time, dude.
They're playing Houston. They got it. Hey.
They were the hold on, there it is. Okay. No. They were in the Ohio Valley Conference.
Oh.
I know that.
All right.
So that's always good. I can't pull their name up. Oh, well. We're learning here. We're learning as we go.
I'll click on the game. Let me see if it comes up. Nope. It doesn't come up.
Maybe because it's not all ready to go.
Oh, SIU Edwardsville. I don't know what that means.
We don't know what the SIU stands for, though.
They're both the Cougars, though. Houston Cougars versus the SIU Edwardsville Cougars.
Okay, that's interesting. Very interesting. So, all right. So, biggest shocker, biggest surprise, Dan. Go ahead.
I mean, I'm just really. I mean, to me, like we were talking Kansas, man. Kansas is wild to me. 21-12. You know what I mean? Like they had awful losses. They were up by 30 against Baylor, and they lost that game. They lost to West Virginia. For them to be in, okay, cool. For them to be a 7 seed, I don't mean it doesn't even make sense. They didn't win their tournament. They got to the semis and lost. Like that to me just doesn't. I don't understand that at all. You know what I mean? That really doesn't make sense to me.
Where would you have them? Because I'm kind of right there with you. They did have some big wins though. Like I know you were texting me earlier. They did have like that BYU win looks a lot better now than it did back then.
Yeah.
Where would you have them?
I'd have them at least on the 8-9 line. You know what I mean? Like I don't think it's a crazy jump. I feel like a 7's nuts.
Right.
I just feel like that's 8-9. I'd be cool with like if they went. You know what I mean? Like for me, like we were talking about, like with UConn and stuff, is like if you took them and put them on an 8 line away from home, you know what I mean, wherever they are, like away, like I feel like that would be all right. I'd lean more towards a 9 or a 10, just because I mean they were 21-12. They just barely cusped 20 wins. And I don't know. It's just to me, it was just wild.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought we touched on it already. I thought Michigan being on the 5 line after winning the Big Ten tournament and how well they did,
yes,
I thought they'd get bumped up to a 4 or a 3. I guess though, if you look at, if you like really look at the like bracketology kind of thing,
yeah,
they did have a lot of quad 1 losses. They did lose to Michigan State. I think twice during the regular season. They did have a few other big losses earlier in the season that didn't age as well as we would think.
Yeah.
But that was a bit of a shocker to me. I thought you win the Big Ten. Big Ten is it was the second best conference in the whole thing this year. That to me was a bit of a shocker. That was my biggest surprise. So besides UNC getting in, that was my biggest surprise.
I feel like it's weird. Like to me, it's always weird. I feel like it kind of happens every year. Is that there's not a metric put into the fact of how the team is playing right now. Yeah. Like I feel like that's not like it's the resume. Yes, should count 100%. Like to me right now, Florida should be the number 1 overall seed in the tournament. Auburn should still be a 1 seed, but Florida should be number 1 overall.
Yeah. I just think it can't be discounted how much Auburn did up until literally 2 weeks ago. I mean, they beat everyone. But see, you're right though. Here's the thing, like, and college football is more like this than college basketball. The head-to-head matchups.
Yes.
Because who beat Auburn early in the season besides Duke?
Yeah.
Remember?
No, I don't remember.
Florida beat them early in the season.
I thought it was later in the season.
No, Florida beat them. It wasn't. Let me see. Here, I have that right.
Because they spanked them at home, right?
Maybe it was like mid-season. You might be right.
Yeah, because I remember Florida just got healthy and they beat them.
You're right. It was on. They beat them by 9. It was on February 8th. So not. You're right. Not early in the season.
But they were up by 20 in that game.
They did, and then Duke beat them. Early in the season.
Mm-hmm.
And then they lost to Texas A&M.
Yeah.
And then Alabama. So I get what you're saying. Florida had beaten them earlier in the year. They beat them in February. They win the Southeastern Conference. They win the whole thing. I still think if we're comparing apples to apples, 28-5 for Auburn, and you had Florida at, let's see, Florida finished the season 29-4. They had a better record. You're right.
That's what and that I'm just saying, like, it's the best conference in America, right? Everyone said that the best conference maybe ever in college basketball, and they won the tournament.
Yeah. The only thing I'll say is that Florida lost to Georgia, which is a bad loss.
Yeah.
They didn't even get in compared to all the other stuff. So
I don't think Auburn had a bad loss all year.
No, they didn't. I mean, Duke, Florida, Texas A&M, like they really didn't. Tennessee, they really, really and truly didn't.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. We're here. I think that number 1 overall seed from Auburn was It was already done. I mean, unless
Yeah.
they went one and done in the SEC conference tournament, I think
Yeah.
that was it. I think the fact that they got to the semis was enough. You know what I mean? Enough for them.
No, yeah. Like I think we said before that they'd locked up whatever they were going to get.
Yeah. So, all right, let's touch on real quick the first 4 games. So,
Okay.
first one is Alabama State and St. Francis. So here's a cool thing about St. Francis. I don't think I said it last week. Yeah, I don't think I did, but I think I just learned it this week. So the head coach at St. Francis not only went to college at St. Francis and played basketball, but as soon as he graduated, he joined the coaching staff, and he's literally been there for
That's awesome.
like since the 90s, and then he's been the head coach for the last like 12 years. And he didn't want to go. He wanted to go to like Penn State or something, because that's where his older brother went. And I guess he went and stayed. Like, I had like one of those host homes where you have like a current student, and in this case, a basketball player, like host you at their house or whatever. And he said that guy, whoever it was, like sold him on St. Francis, and he went there and he's never left. So I think cool story. You don't get that stuff really into pro sports. Alabama State, I don't really know much about them except that like they ruled in their own little conference. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let me see if I can look something up real quick on them. Let me see.
Alabama State's favored by 3.5.
Alabama State the Hornets. So yeah, they were in the Southwest Athletic Conference. They were, wow. They were 19-15 and 4th in the Southwest Athletic Conference. But they won their conference. They beat Texas Southern, Grambling State. I believe Grambling State was in it last year.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
then,
they were.
And then they beat Jackson State yesterday. So good on them for that. Let's see, who else do we have? And then we have San Diego State and North Carolina.
Yeah.
Tuesday at 11 in the morning, baby. Some good old 11 a.m. I'll be in the office watching that game.
I think it's 11 a.m. It says 9:10.
Oh, it's 11 a.m. Maybe it's different time zone.
It says 9:10.
So it's probably
PM.
It's probably 9:10 the time zone they're in. It's probably 11 o'clock Eastern time, I would assume.
Oh, it's in Dayton though, isn't it?
Yeah. I think it's at 9 o'clock at Dayton.
It says 9:10 p.m.
Oh, this says 11:11 a.m. on mine. What do you?
Yeah, I'm on ESPN.
I'm on CBS Sports.
Yeah, because they do 2 days of games, right?
Oh, you know what?
Yeah, it's definitely
CBS.
9:10 p.m.
You're right. Sorry, CBS hasn't. They have them all at 11:11 a.m.
I was like, what?
They just have them all. Because there's 2 on Tuesday and then 2 on.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. They do 6:40 and 9:10.
Okay. All right. That makes way more sense than 11.
I do love morning ball though.
That would be good. Well, we're gonna get plenty of it as the weeks
I love that.
by.
Yeah, the 12 o'clockers are my favorite.
So then you have American University and Mount St. Mary's.
Yeah.
Don't know too much about either of them.
Me neither.
Except here, let's see. Mount
St. Mary's is like a hockey school, isn't it?
It's not even giving me a search button for it. They're not even like.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no.
They're not even in the league.
What is so Mount St. Mary's is in the league? Oh, the Quinnipiac. Well, I forgot what league that is. Not the A10. But I've heard of them before because the Quinnipiac, your favorite word.
Oh, Quinnipiac or whatever.
They're in the league with Quinnipiac.
Quinnipiac.
It's actually right down the street from where I am right now.
Is it really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
I think you roll, man. What do you think? What do you think about your game, though? I want a little tip on your game.
San Diego State in the Final Four 2 years ago. We all remember that. I think on paper we're a better team this year. I was looking up. We're like 30-something in the net ranking. San Diego State's like 50-something in the net ranking. They have a better quad 1 schedule record than we did because we had a terrible quad one record at
like 1-11 or
1-12.
something.
Yeah, it was terrible. I think we're playing with house money right now. I think they come out and I think they dispose of San Diego State pretty easily. San Diego State's not what they used to be. I think it's on a neutral site, so you're not going to get home court advantage. I think they come out and they dispose of San Diego State pretty candidly. If I'm
Agreed,
being
man.
honest. Yeah.
Yeah, totally agreed. Yeah, I think you guys blow the doors off them.
Yeah, I definitely think so. So, what about you? Anything on that?
No, yeah, I mean, I really just think they're going to outmatch them. You know, but I tell you one thing to San Diego State, to that coach, because it's still the same coach, right? Brian Dutcher or whatever his name is.
Yeah, Brian Dutcher.
I mean, kudos to that dude, because they're always there, man. They lost their best guy, Lamont Butler, is on Kentucky, and he just keeps bringing them back. Like he's a good coach, man.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. So we'll see. Should be a tough match. They're San Diego State's very tough. They play really good defense.
Yep.
They're a tough team. So we got to really show up. Rebounding is our big thing. We got to rebound better, man. That's really the big thing.
And they can't score with you. So if you guys RJ Davis is on, you're good.
Yeah. Yeah. So that conference you were thinking of is the
America East.
It's the I just had it. Hold on. Just had it. Hold on. It's the MAC, MAAC.
Oh, yeah.
Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference.
Yeah, because you got Fairfield, Connecticut, and Quinnipiac, Iona.
Yep. They beat Merrimack in the semis, and then went on to win. So you have them, and then American University. They were first in the Patriot League. They won the Patriot Conference. So, 1 second. I'm having an error message on my computer there. Okay. All right. So that's that'll be an interesting game. We'll see what happens there. And then you have the Xavier Texas game.
And so hold on, let me throw a little quip on this so you know, just in case you don't know. We're talking about the game is probably about 20 minutes from Xavier's campus.
The Xavier Texas game is?
Xavier is about 20 minutes from Dayton.
Okay.
So it's going to be loaded with Xavier
home game, yeah.
It's a home game.
Home game model for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, Texas. They were projected to be really good this year, and they really didn't. Follow through on it. They did make kind of a late surge at the end of the season. They kind of went deep in their conference. You know, they lost in the quarterfinals, I believe.
Yeah, I think so.
You know, so. Good on them. Yeah, they beat Vanderbilt and Texas A&M, lost to Tennessee on Friday in the quarterfinals.
The big thing that with them that turn, I love Rodney Terry as a coach, and but they got I don't know if you know the guy Weaver that they got. So Weaver was hurt for a lot of the season, and he's their tough guy. He's their defense and do everything guy. He might have no points, but he's a guy you need on the floor. And Rodney Terry said he's like that's us getting him back is the reason we even won a couple. You know what I mean? Like why they did good in the tournament, and that's why they've been so up and down. Because that freshman Johnson's really good. Shedrick he's big and good. Like they have a good team. They just never put it together.
Yeah, I agree. And they're in the toughest conference in the whole league. First year Texas is in. Not that they would have had an easier time in the Big 12, but maybe they would have. Right? Maybe they totally would have. They finished, 13th in the SEC. You got to think they finish 5, 6, or 7th in the Big 12 if they're still in there. A lot of people think Rodney Terry is coaching for his job.
Yeah, that's what they said.
Tough scene, and
because it's Texas.
Well, and the question becomes, if they win a couple NCAA tournament games, does he keep his job because of that, or is it still or is that almost like a false alarm? Like the truth is, by this point, you probably already know one way or the other if he's your coach long term.
Yeah.
Because you had so much trouble just getting into this play-in tournament, and you win and you get hot now. Does that mean he is the right coach or not the right? You know what I mean? Yeah. It's kind of one of those questions. Maybe they just, like they did. The guy from NC State did it last year. Remember, NC State got super hot. He went all the way to the Final Four.
Yeah, that big
coach
dude
was on the hot seat. That coach was not going to keep his job at the end of last year, and they went on that final run. And then look, they gave him an extension. and they were terrible this year, right?
Yeah.
When they probably should have been like, hey, dude, great run, unbelievable Final Four run, nothing like it, but we're going to move on and go in a different direction because ultimately that's where we want it to go, right?
No, I think I think Terry's done. I think they already made up their mind that he's done, unless they make a Final Four or something.
Yeah, and I don't hate the fact that if you make a deep run, you get to keep. I don't hate it, it's fine. But I just think it's kind of,
it sets the program back.
Yeah. So, okay, so let's just go real quick.
Yep.
And let's go through. So Auburn's the number 1 overall seed in the South region. They're going to play the winner of Alabama State or St. Francis. Okay?
Yes.
We don't really need to say much on that.
No, yeah.
Auburn, I mean, that would be the upset of the year. Then you got, I think, an intriguing game, Louisville and Creighton.
Yeah.
Thursday. Looks like I think these times are right, 12:15 p.m. on Thursday the 20th.
Yeah,
Interesting game. 8 and 9 seed. I think they match up well together. I think I'm giving the slight edge to Creighton only because, well, I shouldn't say that because Louisville hasn't been in it for the last few years, but didn't they win the whole damn thing like not too long, like within the last 10
2014,
years?
I think,
something
maybe?
like that. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be a good matchup.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Mack, for Creighton, I mean, that's his thing. Like every time UConn plays Creighton, the reason they win is because he outcoaches them.
Yeah,
and that's every single time. He's a really smart coach for matchups. Like Big East tournament, Creighton came out, and the two guys that are most important on their team barely touched the ball because he knew he had advantages on other places. And with Kalkbrenner at 7-2 or whatever he is, I don't know much about Louisville. You could bring me to light on them, but I know a lot about Creighton, obviously.
Louisville is a complete rebuild. They let their coach go last year, and they were a complete total. It's honestly it's fairly shocking. Here, I'm gonna look real quick. Look it up. It's honestly shocking that they were that good this year.
Yeah.
They got their guard Terrence Edwards is really good. Chucky Hepburn is a really good player.
I heard that name. Is he a transfer?
Yeah, he was a transfer. They're all transfer. Like the whole team is just completely rebuilt. You know what I mean? And so it's kind of fascinating. It's kind of fascinating that Chucky Hepburn came from, it looks like, Wisconsin. I mean, you got all of them. You got Noah Waterman went from BYU. Frank, I can't pronounce. I'm going to pronounce that last name wrong. And Selam Eby came from Georgia. Chucky Hepburn from Wisconsin. Ali Khalifa also from BYU. Keyshawn Pryor from Texas. I mean, you really just they were almost all transfers. Terrence Edwards came from James Madison, from a lower conference. So unbelievable story for them to be as good as they are.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
This year, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
And to finish, they lose in the, you lose in the ACC, conference tournament. So there's that. Let's see. Then you got Michigan and UC San Diego, a 5 and a 12 matchup. Michigan should win that,
I feel like that's
somewhat easily, right?
Yeah.
Texas A&M versus Yale.
Yale, don't count them out.
Dude, the Ivy League schools are good, dude.
I mean,
those games are always really good. I always watch those games.
They got the dude. I think his name's like Pulanikis or something like that.
Yeah.
And he can bang threes from all over.
Yeah. No, they're good. I mean, Texas A&M is really good too. They're a 4 seed, and they should.
Yeah, I love their point guard. What's their point guard's name? I can't remember his name, but their point guard, I love him. He's really, really good.
And then you got Ole Miss versus the winner of the San Diego State UNC game.
Yeah,
I think that'll be a really good game. It's not an easy. That's not an easy game to come to after you play. And if you're UNC or San Diego State, Ole Miss is good, even though they struggled a little bit towards the end of the year. They're really good.
Mm-hmm.
Iowa State Lipscomb next game, a 3 and a 14 seed. Iowa State should handle their business pretty easily there. Marquette, New Mexico, 7 and 10 seed. I think that's a great matchup. New Mexico is good in the Mountain West. I think that's going to be a really good really good matchup.
Yeah, Marquette's never really done a run. You know what I mean? Like in the tournament, they always come short.
Yeah, and I like them. I really do.
I love
I like
Shaka.
Shaka Smart. Yep, I like them all.
Love him.
Cam Jones from Memphis,
Yeah.
came over from Memphis. And then you got Michigan State and Bryant College. And shout out to our Bryant,
The alums.
our history, our ties to Bryant College. But unfortunately, I think they're a first round exit against Michigan State.
Yeah.
We move over to the West region. You got number 1 Florida against Norfolk State. I'm sorry to say, Norfolk State, my hometown, you're gonna get boat raced, dude. There's no way they're gonna get boat raced. Next one, I'll give this one to you. UConn, Oklahoma, the 8 and the 9 game in the West region. UConn, Oklahoma. What do you think?
I think we are the better team, but Oklahoma has the UConn weakness. Fears is a phenomenal point guard.
Very good.
Phenomenal point guards eat UConn alive. You know, and that's like, so I think we can win the game or we can lose by 20. I really honestly, I think it can go either way. You know, it's just a matter of the toughness scale of what's going to happen.
I think you win. I do think you win. I think you got too many players that have been there before. You got obviously, Dan Hurley, one of the greatest coaches in the history of it. I think you guys got a chip on your shoulder.
Yeah.
I think you're pissed. I know you don't love being an 8 seed, but I think this actually is a decent matchup. Because then we'll go, then you got to play Florida.
Florida's man. They're so big.
I'm trying to look here if you were the 6 seed, you might have had to play Maryland, which isn't any picnic either.
Yeah.
And if you were the 7 seed, you would have had to probably play Texas Tech.
I think it's just a mental thing for me because, like I said, our last cast and this cast, like I personally think Florida is the best team in the country.
Right.
And then we get that in the second draw. To me, it's just like, for me, it's just like. But you want to know what? I mean, anything,
You guys can beat them though. Like that's the crazy part. Like that I would not be shocked to see
that. I know
Florida leave early because of a tight down the race game lost to UConn.
Yep, because the funny thing about it too is that they probably come against us right now and take us light in the beginning. Yeah.
So that'll be fun to watch. That's Friday at 9:25 p.m. on TNT. So that'll be good. Then you got the next game, Memphis and Colorado State. Colorado State's no slouch. They really are no slouch. Penny Hardaway and Memphis though they're really, really good.
I love
really,
Memphis.
really good this year. My only thing with Memphis is that they didn't really play. They did have a great non-conference win, quite a few wins early in the season. But they're in for how good they are, they're in such a crappy conference. So they really haven't played anybody of note, the second kind of half of the season.
And I don't know like how deep you paid attention to it, but those teams that are not that good, they didn't blow the doors off all of them. They're a lot. You can tell. That's the only thing I can tell by those players. Like, I mean, the talent is immense, but they don't start playing until they have to.
Right.
They literally all the teams hang around, then they pull away. You never see them start and like beat a team by 20 points at the half.
Right.
And I feel like that's the one thing that could bite them.
Yep, I agree. Next game, Friday at 4:30 on TBS. You got Maryland versus Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
Maryland's a 4 seed. If they win yesterday, I think they're at least a 3 seed. I really do. If they got to the Big Ten championship, I think they're a 3 seed. Grand Canyon scores a high volume, but I think Maryland's good. Maryland's good.
They're good.
I think they handle it.
And they score high volume too. You know what I mean? They put up points.
That Derek Queen kid is unreal.
Really good. Yeah. It's kind of wild. You got a couple teams in the Big Ten that put up big time points, which is not normal.
Yep. Next one is Drake and Missouri, a 6 and an 11 seed.
Let's get a Greg Phillips. Greg Phillips, shout out.
Shout out to the Drake Bulldogs and Greg Phillips. Listen, don't count Drake. Do not sleep on Drake. You can take Missouri all day. I'm not.
I have that down as an upset already.
Yeah, I think so. I haven't even done my bracket. I got to do my bracket tonight.
I just saw that. I saw Phillips and I picked them.
100%. I think you take Drake in that game. That's going to be one of the first big upsets.
Yeah.
Texas Tech versus UNC Wilmington.
Hmm.
UNC Wilmington's good too, man. UNC Wilmington is good. They were in a very strong mid-major conference.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see here. Let me put them up real quick. They're the Seahawks. They were in the Coastal Athletic Conference. They won the Coastal Athletic Conference. They beat Charleston. They're not bad, man. They're one of those really, really good mid-major teams.
Yeah.
So I think if
it's the hang around effect, man. If you let these teams hang around, that's why I always like the first round is the scariest round because you let these guys hang around, you get confidence on people who got nothing to lose.
Yeah. If Texas Tech plays around with their food, man, that could be an upset as well.
Yeah.
Next game, Kansas versus Arkansas. I think it's a great matchup. That's going to be one of the best games of the first round.
I mean, seriously, yep, that's what I have. I literally have on my paper Pitino versus Calipari. If they win too, like that bottom little bracket there.
Hold on, just because you're going to get flamed in the mentions. Not Pitino. Bill Self versus Calipari.
No, I said in the next round.
Oh! I see what you're saying. Okay,
I'm saying that whole little bracket, the mini bracket there.
Okay, you're going out. Okay, gotcha.
I got hyped. I got too hyped.
Yeah, Kansas Arkansas is going to be a great game. I think Arkansas is way better than their schedule at on. They were like kind of like we were talking about Michigan earlier. They just took a while for them to gel. A lot of new players, almost all transfer portals. They got the kid Janelle Davis from FAU, who's really good. They got the other foreign guy that came from Kentucky that's really good. I forget his name now off the top of my head, but like Vucevic or whatever it is. But he's really good. Like Arkansas, that's going to be a tough game for Bill Self and Kansas Jayhawks there. And they have been struggling, man.
Yeah, I feel like it's Arkansas. It's funny to me, like even looking at that, because the talent both teams have 7 versus 10. Like that's not a 7 versus 10 game.
Yeah. Right. No, I agree. And then last one in that is St. John's versus Omaha. St. John's should dispose of that,
Yeah. After Creighton beat UConn and that guy dunked it, the whole state of Nebraska can go.
Yeah. St. John's should definitely beat that, no matter what. All right, moving on to the East region. Number 1, Duke Blue Devils, and they play the winner of that American. What did we say MTSM was in the Mount St. Mary's? Mount St. Mary's.
Oh yeah. I totally. Metro Atlantic.
The Mount St. Mary loyalists they're gonna get on us if we don't remember their team's name.
Metro Atlantic.
Duke should easily win that game.
Yes.
No question there. With or without Cooper Flagg, he could sit out another game if he's not ready to go. He could sit that game out.
If they play him, I really think it'd be dumb. Honestly, it's an ankle. An ankle is rest.
Yeah, ankles are hard. Yeah. Next one though is really good. Mississippi State versus Baylor, 8 and 9 seed. Mm-hmm. That should be a great game. I'm going to give Scott Drew and the Baylor Bulldogs, Baylor Bears. I'm going to give them the edge there.
Yeah,
I'm going to give them the edge there. I think they're going to pull that game out.
No, that freshman kid they got is good, man. Mm-hmm. He is really good.
They got, what is it, Edgecombe?
Edgecombe's really good.
And they got the Zuby. What's they got?
They got a couple of,
Norchad Omier. Yeah. Gotta love that name, dude. Norchad.
I love it. Yeah.
What's your name, sir? My name's Norchad.
Norchad.
Oregon versus Liberty.
Yep.
Liberty's good. I wanted to pick. I'm actually doing my live bracket as I'm like clicking on teams as we speak.
Oh yeah.
I clicked on Liberty to win that game, but I changed it. I think Oregon's ultimately going to pull that out. Oregon's pretty solid.
Yeah, they're pretty solid, but they're the same thing. They play when they want to.
Yeah. They had a lull in the middle of the season, but Liberty's very good. Liberty's one of those automatic qualifiers that's got a 12 seed.
Yeah.
That means you're a pretty solid mid-major program there when you get a 12 seed as an automatic qualifier.
Yeah.
Arizona versus Akron. I'm picking Akron, dude. I'm picking Akron.
Yeah.
Give me an upset. 13 over 4.
Spite for the win.
Give me an upset. I'm picking Akron. Arizona's soft. We've already mentioned that. Next game is interesting. BYU versus VCU. VCU just won their conference today.
Yeah.
That could be a good game.
Yeah, I feel like that's an easy 6-11. Can go either way.
That could be a really good game. I still think I'm going to give the edge to BYU, but that could be a very good game.
Yeah, because the Big 12 was good. They played a lot of good teams.
Then they're like besides when they lost in the Big 12 conference, they were before that they were like 11-0 in their last however many games. They were 11-0.
Yep.
Next game, Thursday at 1:30, Wisconsin versus Montana. Your Montana State Grizzlies, Dan.
Grizzles.
Wisconsin wins that game, though. Sorry, Grizzly fans.
Yeah.
Next game, St. Mary's Vanderbilt. Interesting matchup. 7 and a 10 seed.
Yeah.
I know you said. What'd you say in the text earlier about St. Mary's? You lumped St. Mary's.
They played nobody, and they lost in their conference tournament to Gonzaga. They played nobody. And how do you get a 7 seed? They literally, they played nobody, and they lose to Gonzaga in the tournament. And
I agree. They did beat Gonzaga earlier in the year, which I think counts for something if you beat the eventual conference champion. But I was a little surprised. I was thinking more of a 9 seed for them.
Yeah. I feel like you have to win that conference tournament and the conference to be But I think Vandy blows their doors in because Vandy's played top stud teams all year.
Yep, in the SEC. Yeah, I picked Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
And then you got Alabama versus the Cigarette University, Robert Morris. Alabama.
Yeah, we don't smoke them anymore over here, baby.
Yeah. Oh yeah. How many days are you still keeping track of days?
I think it was I had to go back and track because I forgot when it was the actual day I quit. I think it's like 7 weeks now.
Nice, dude. That's a big shout out to you, bro. Big shout out to you.
Let's go.
All right. Let's see. Moving on to the Midwest region.
Yeah.
Number 1, Houston versus
the SIUE.
We haven't figured it out yet. Something Edwardsville.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can look it up real quick. SIU.
Oh, it's I don't want to say anything because I don't want the SIU people to get on us.
It is. Okay, they're the Cougars.
Yeah, we got dual Cougars going.
What is their name? It won't even tell me. It's too long, apparently. Let's see if we can find it. No. SIU Edwardsville. Yeah, we can't find it.
Yeah, isn't that wild? That's wild.
But they're playing Houston. Cougars versus Cougars.
Yeah. Cougars win.
Cougars win. I think that's an easy. that's an easy pick there. Cougars definitely win.
Yeah.
Cougars definitely win. So.
Oh, see, you had me a little aloof because I thought because you said Georgia's not in, but Georgia's in.
Oh, my bad.
I was confused because I was like, I thought they were firmly in, and then like you said that, I was like a little confused. But yeah, they're in the next Gonzaga, Georgia next. Okay. All right.
Let me get back there. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're right. My bad. Sorry about that, all the Georgia Bulldog fans. I think I'm taking Gonzaga in that one, dude.
Yeah.
I think so. I think they've been there. They've been there a zillion years in a row, and I don't know.
Yeah,
I like Gonzaga. I've always liked Gonzaga. I'm a little bit of a Gonzaga homer there.
Yeah. Yeah. See, I don't know. I mean, I've seen UConn play them twice, and they just smoke them every time.
Yeah.
It's not even like a contest.
Yeah, I agree. Clemson versus McNeese State. McNeese was in it last year. McNeese, I think if I remember correctly, McNeese was, when they talk about like tempo, like up and down, McNeese was the fastest team in Division I basketball last year.
Yeah, they're solid 12.
I also just don't like Clemson. I just don't.
I feel like it's contrasting styles,
Yeah. Big,
slow versus
fast. So I'm going to pick McNeese State, another upset there.
Ooh.
You're going to have a certain amount of upsets.
Yeah.
Next game, Purdue and High Point.
I got the upset.
Are you calling the upset?
Calling the upset on that.
Yeah. Yeah. I get it. I gotta go. I'm gonna go Purdue. I'm gonna go Purdue. I know you don't like them, but I think they're
the guy that works for me. His cousin goes to High Point. Bam, there we go. Send it.
nice. Nice. Illinois versus the next play-in. They would play the Texas Xavier winner.
That's a good game.
That would be a great game either way.
Mm-hmm.
Either way. Illinois did kind of get dusted in a lot of games this year. They got dusted, dude.
Yeah, that's to me like.
And I like the Yakachonis kid too. I think he's a good ball player.
But who else? You know what I mean? Like, how are they a 6 seed? That's wild.
You're right. Good point.
You know.
Yeah. How are they a 6 seed? And Michigan, who won the Big Ten, is still only a 5 seed.
But it's I don't know. Yeah, a little bit's a little wild. Even I mean, but I think they lose. I think whoever wins that play-in wins that game.
Yeah, I think that whoever wins that play-in is going to be rolling. They're going to be hot. They're going to be ready to go.
Yeah.
All right, let's finish up here. Kentucky versus Troy. Troy's a solid team, but I don't know. Kentucky's good. I know they had some losses. They're in the SEC. Yeah. Mark Pope's done a fantastic job there. They're a complete, totally new team as well. Everybody either left or transferred with John Calipari when he left last year. I think Mark Pope, who went to Kentucky, I think I wouldn't be shocked to see them make a somewhat deep run. I really wouldn't.
They have talent. Always really good. Yeah. Williams is good. I mean, they have talent everywhere.
Yeah. Yep. That'll be good. Next one is a 7 and a 10 seed, UCLA versus Utah State. Yep. Utah State's really good, man.
Mm-hmm.
Utah State is really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go Utah State on that.
Yeah,
sorry, Mick Cronin, UCLA. I'm going to go UCLA on that.
They're a little confusing as a 7 myself too.
Yeah. Big Ten team, yeah. Yep. Tennessee versus Wofford. Wofford had that great game a couple days ago.
Yep.
To be an automatic qualifier, but I think Tennessee will just suffocate them on defense and
they're good.
Lanier and Gainey and those guys will have a good game. So Danny, what else? That's everything. That's everything for that. What else you got? You got any other little notes? Anything that you?
I mean, not really. I mean, I really feel like the 2 playing games, both those, I feel like the 2 main play, not the 16s, you know what I mean? But the 11s, those 2 playing games, I think whoever, I think it's going to be UNC and Xavier. But I feel like whoever wins those games is going to move into the second round. Going to win their first round matchup.
Nice. Yeah, I think so too. I'm excited to watch.
Yeah, but nothing really, like we talked about, like the people that got left out. I don't think there's any snubs of who's in and who's out of the tournament. Right. I feel like there's seed snubs, but I don't feel like there's any snubs of someone that should have got in. Boise State, that's a non-contest.
Yeah, I'm okay on that. I'm really okay on that. I thought Indiana maybe. I really did. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
So just for everybody listening, like I said, the first 2 playing games are Tuesday the 18th. The second 2 are Wednesday the 19th. And then the NCAA tournament officially begins with the round of 64 on Thursday. It looks like 12:15 p.m. is like the first game. Just after lunchtime. I'm just double checking my math here, make sure that's correct, so I'm not giving any wrong info. But yeah, it looks like 12:15 p.m. is and then they kind of just roll on from there, from noon to every few hours to the end of the night. Same thing on Friday. So we should have some fun time. We're gonna come back. We'll be back with. We'll see. We don't know exactly when we're gonna record next, but we probably give it till at least.
What do you want to do
after the first full round? You know what I mean?
I was gonna say 32, round, then 16.
Maybe we come back to the 32. Yeah, but Danny, this is always fun, man. I'm happy you joined me for this.
I'm hyped, man. I can't wait.
Nobody else wants to do this, especially on a Sunday night late. Yeah.
It's you love it, man. When it's like like your team's in and my team's in, we got a bad draw and stuff like that. But I don't really care, man. I'm just hyped. College basketball, March Madness. Let's go.
Same here. Well, I want to thank everybody who watched this or listened to this. Please stay tuned to the Trudge Report YouTube channel at Trudge Report Pod. Again, that's at Trudge Report Pod. Subscribe, hit the like button. We need your help. We need your follows. Throw in some comments. You know what? You take exception to some of the things we said today, some of the matchups we picked. Throw it in the comments.
Send it.
We'll love to argue with you. We'll send our number one arguer, Corey, to go argue with you about a sport he knows absolutely nothing about. But we would love to hear some comments and hear if you think that we're right or dead wrong. Sorry for any mispronunciations we may have had or just misinformation we may have had. We are not experts at this, just two avid fans of this wonderful, wonderful game, and we look forward to
SIU. We'll figure it out. SIU. We'll figure it out.
SIU Edwardsville. We know you're from Edwardsville. Shout out to all the Edwardsville faithful. So, all right. Until next time, peace out, everybody.